Alright, so welcome YouTube to the Steelers post-game Seats 1 episode 2. The Steelers versus the Broncos. Since I started doing this last year, it was more of like I wasn't planned on doing an entire a series out of it, but here I am. I'm still trying to find out what's the best way. As of now, I'm writing notes down, so let's begin with the talk. In the first quarter, it's the slowest quarter because everyone's getting warmed up, playing against each other. But the main highlights here from the first quarter is the Bud Dupree forces a fumble and Mike Hilton recovers it. Then on that same drive, James Conner runs it in for a touchdown. In the second quarter, Johnson ran for a 70-yard touchdown. Touchdown kick return. It was a punt return, but there was a flag that called it back for a loss of 10 yards. Then on the next play, Claypool, Ben Roethlisberger to Claypool, touchdown. Then the Broncos scored a touchdown at some point in the first half. I forget when, but I only started doing notes in the first half, probably the second half of the first quarter. Then Driscoll to Sutton, which is the Broncos, had a 45-yard touchdown catch. Then the Broncos went for a 58-yard field goal attempt and they missed it. Then there was a holding penalty on and then sometime later there was a holding penalty for 10 yards on the Steelers. Then this is the Steelers' next drive. Then there's a delay of game for the Steelers, 5 yards. That was probably about the first 10 minutes. Then when the Broncos had the ball, the Steelers intercepted it with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left of the first half on the on their 12-yard line. Then the Steelers made a field goal, the 3-point. Then when the Broncos played next after the Steelers, Fitzpatrick had a passing interference flag on him. The score at halftime was 17-3, with Steelers winning. The Steelers had 5 sacks and the Broncos had 1. The Steelers, from what CBS has said, the Steelers have the longest sack streak of more than 1 sacks per game of a 59-game streak. They had other teams too. So moving on to the third quarter, number 14 on the Steelers had a 49-yard kick return. Then they were on their own 48-yard line. The Broncos intercepted the ball on that same drive. Then Johnson blocked. There was a penalty of Johnson blocking in the back, 10-yard penalties. Then Fitzpatrick had a horse collar flag on him. The Steelers sacked the Broncos on the Steelers' 10-yard line. The Then the Broncos, sometime later on, made a field goal, bringing their score up to 17-6. There's a neutral when on the next drive when the Steelers had it. The Broncos got a neutral zone infraction or infragment or what a infraction. Then there's like a horse crap call where the officials didn't call like a holding penalty. There was a passing interference call on Fitzpatrick and roughing the passer on Hilton. The Broncos scored a touchdown and a 2-point conversions, bringing their score up to 17-14. Then in the fourth quarter, Ben Roethlisberger passed Manning's and best quarterback of all time. Then Ben Roethlisberger threw a pass that bounced off one of the players, and Juju Smith-Schuster catched the ball to save the Steelers from getting an interception. Then Ben Roethlisberger threw to Johnson for a 30-yard touchdown. The Steelers stomped the Broncos at the 12-yard line, like sacking them. Then they got a safety. Then Connor fumbles the Steelers does a run play. Then Connor fumbles the ball with the Broncos recovering. Then Bulls on the Broncos got a holding flag. Then Bush got a passing interference call, which was a retarded call, because most NFL players are twinkle toes. They gotta overreact to everything. Then the Broncos scored a touchdown. Next play, there was a passing interference. I might have already said that. Oh yeah, the way the Broncos catched. Well, that was in bounds anyway. The Broncos made a great sideline play, and then Mike Tomlin, the Steelers head coach, challenges the call. Then he lost. The Steelers sacked on fourth. The Steelers sacked the Broncos on fourth down. Then Connor ran for 59 yards. Then Ben Roethlisberger takes a knee to run down the rest of the clock, and the Steelers win with 26-21 game score. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next one.